Here we go.
What's up, YouTube family? How's everybody doing out there? My running kid here, coming to you again. I know I'm a little late with the comic review. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yesterday, usually I'll have it up by late Saturday or Sunday, but Sunday was another pet peeve for me, and we witnessed the 2012 Royal Rumble winner. Yes, I'm a big wrestling fan, so we got to see the next Royal Rumble winner, and it was my pick, like I said, Sheamus. So, but I apologize for that. But enough about the wrestling. Let's get into the comics, right? So I have for you a decent amount of comics for you guys. Some that I think you all should enjoy. Some that have been really good, that was really good, and some books that who have new creative teams that I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm on board. So we're going to kick it off with DC this time, and we're all gearing up for the 6th issues of the New 52, but we'll kick it off with Aquaman, number 5, Buried Alive. Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes artwork, very good. Okay, I don't want to use any kind of fish references, but let's put it like this. Aquaman is pretty much out of his element here, very much. He's in a desert, and the U.S. Navy, I should say, discovered something from the last issue, an embryo that's on Aquaman's belt. And Aquaman tells them that, yeah, it's from Atlantis, and he's coming there to see him. Lo and behold, the Navy gets attacked by these armored assailants. When Aquaman arrives there, he realizes when he's fighting them, he breaks their metal shielding, that they're Atlanteans. Dun dun dun. Okay, and he follows them, and he has them crash their ship in a desert. I'm not sure which desert it is. I think they said it, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he's in a desert basically, and he finds out some things that is coming. That's coming, and he's hallucinating, the whole 9 yards of what happens in a desert, and he's, water, I need water, and I'm kind of glad they got this out of the way, but yeah, it's basically Arthur pretty much out of his element, but it was still a good story. It's showing you what's to come, and I like that. And they kind of poke fun of it, the newspapers, they do, but other than that, it was good. Okay, pretty much what a lot of people have been calling Batman. They should say it should be called Batman the Dark Knight, Brave and the Bold. But Batman the Dark Knight, number 5. David Finch and Paul Jenkins are on this, co-plotters and everything. David Finch artwork is superb, as always, David Finch is one of my favorite artists. In this issue, it's Bruce dealing with Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, and boy, does the Scarecrow up the ante in this book. Does he seriously kind of whip Batman in terms of his fear toxin and things like that. It starts to get to him, and it's upgraded now, and it's almost to the point you're seeing who's responsible for all these like Venom like people from Bruce's Rogues Gallery. Lo and behold, he There's an inter battle with Superman in this. Now you got to remember, this book, guys, takes place now, so they're all part of the Justice League, everything like that. And it's a battle between Batman and Superman. Yes, I know we've seen that before, but yeah, it's a battle because Bruce has been indoctrinated with the toxin that Scarecrow gave him, and it doesn't look good for Bruce in this book. And it ends kind of on a cliffhanger, like almost to like, what did Superman do to Bruce? Like, I'm gonna spoil this, guys, for you. Bruce is laying like this, and Superman standing over him. So, but the next issue, in issue 6, we get to see Bane. Yeah, I seen the back issue. Bane's gonna be the next issue. So, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil what he looks like though. All right, Flash number 5. To save his friend, many will die. Francis Manapul and Steve Buscellto. If I'm saying your name right. This issue really, how can I put it? It starts to explain a lot more, and it starts to explain what the Barry's friend, childhood friend, and this whole mob rules want. They want to live. And Flash starts to understand a little bit more about his new abilities with the Speed Force, and things like that. Hell, we see him pulling 2 locomotives behind him, thanks to the Speed Force in this book. As always, Iris is in, I forgot the prison, but she's in there. She was talking to Captain Cold before he left, and then she gets caught up with Tar Pit and some other inmates in there. And it was good. It was really good. Not bad. But the real eye opener is what involves Barry and the Speed Force, and I don't want to spoil that for you guys. It has something to do with the Speed Force, and it could cause catastrophe in terms of Barry and the Speed Force. But I don't want to spoil that. You just got to find out for yourselves if you are reading Flash. Okay? You're not going to get a spoil out of me. All right. All right. Green Lantern, New Guardians, Tony Bedard, Tyler Kirkham. Excuse me. Mouth is dry. Sorry. It's tea, people, so don't worry. What lurks within the vortex? So, Kyle and the rest of the other core members are going into this vortex from what Larfleeze has told them. That the person responsible for everything is in this vortex. They go in, and we start to see that everything is not what it seems. We're starting to see worlds that are kind of off map. And I'm going to give you some of the words. Tamaranians are in this book. It was like, whoa, okay. That was interesting. We see some individuals that are in this book that Star Sapphire once knew. I should say shouldn't knew, but she learned under one of their fighting styles. And they're like, how did you learn that? And she tells them, and she's like, but you're on the world that, okay. The bottom line is that these individuals, these worlds, are protected by this guardian, so to speak. And we get to see who this guardian is at the end of this book. And it looks like he's going to be a major villain in this for the Guardians. What can I tell? Can I tell you his name? Yes, his name is Invictus. I think that's how you say it. Invictus. I think that's his name. How can I describe him without spoiling too much? I would say think of Firestorm on steroids. Let's put it like that. But it was good nonetheless. All right. moving on to Justice League number 5. Jeff Johns, Jim Lee, another one of my favorite artists, Jim Lee. Excuse me. Okay, I know a lot of people have been feeling that this has been bad. You know, they feel that, why is this a backstory? They're telling this story in the past until leading up to now with the Justice League. But I gotta admit, this was really good to me. This was very action-packed. This was very action-packed. And boy, did Jeff Johns really put the League on notice with Darkseid. He gave Darkseid such an imposing manner, not in look, because that's Jim Lee's, but in terms of just like, he comes in and it's like, yeah, what? Like, what you gonna do? Like, he totally, literally belittles the League. Let me put it like that. Okay, he literally just wipes the floor with them. I'm talking about, he breaks Hal's arm in 2 places. I'm talking, he takes Hal's arm and just almost like, Hal's arm is like dangling. His ring arm too, I'm telling you, is dangling in this book. He uses his Omega beams to take out Superman, and the Parademons take Superman back to Apokolips. He pretty much wipes the floor with them. I'm talking literally. Lo and behold, in this, we get an impromptu one-on-one panel with Batman and Hal. And Batman is telling Hal, like, you know, we got to regroup, we got to group. And it's funny, I'm sorry guys, this is kind of funny to see Bruce actually saying that we need to regroup. Okay, it's all about the team. I'm like, Bruce, like, Hal's like all aggressive, like, get out of my way, bats, and everything like this. And Hal basically, and then Bruce basically looked like, what are you trying to prove here? What are you, or who are you trying to prove this to? And lo and behold, you know, Bruce actually gets into basically a psychoanalyst of what Hal's character is. You're trying to prove something, like yada yada yada, things like this. And Hal's like, how you know, you don't think you know me? And he's like, yeah, I think I do know you. We're like the only 2 normals on the team. And Hal's like, yeah, a guy in a bat suit, that's normal. And he's like, yeah, it's the same. Takes off his cowl and shows Hal who he is. My name is Bruce Wayne. When I was 10 years old, wow, they upped his age when he lost his parents. Instead of 8, they went 10 years. But I was okay with that. He told him, like, my parents got killed and everything like that, you know, gave his origin. And so Batman goes off has one of the Parademons grab him, and he goes off to Apokolips to basically save Superman. And he basically tells Hal to get the team out, help them regroup, distract Darkseid. But other than that, this was really good. It was really good to see. It was really good. Like, I'm just saying, like, the League had the floor wiped with them. It was it makes sense for them to really not be so cohesive as a team in this book right now. You know, to see them like kind of get wiped out like that. I was not like, oh, come on, like, y'all, you know, I was more like, okay, I get it, understandable. But yeah, now for Batman revealing himself, I'm okay with that. To Hal, you know, all right, but I still think they're not writing Hal right. I don't remember Hal being so arrogant, so bold-headed as much. And this is Jeff John who's writing them too, and it's just okay. But as always, once again, you know, somebody will say, but Chris, this is the new 52. So there are going to be some changes. Okay. But it was okay. All right, next up. Oh, boy. Superman, number 5, Attack of the Superpowers. George Perez, Nicola Scott. Okay. It seems those individuals that Superman has been facing, the fire that Ice and that Invisible, I guess, they have pretty much, I guess, so to speak, have possessed Superman or so. And Superman has gone on this almost monarchy stage now in protecting Metropolis from evil threats. I'm talking about he's literally doing things that we wouldn't see Superman doing. Basically, this book reminds me of how Superman is in the Justice League cartoon, the Justice Lord Superman. That's how he reminds me of. I mean, he's killing people. We got to see like a villain from like remember Titano? He kills him in this. He wipes Titano out, and you know, the Daily Planet is like filming this and showing him like this is not. And lo and behold, it's like almost like they possessed Superman's body and threw Superman's soul out. And the Clark that we know is just floating. His soul is floating, fluttering. And I was reading this. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is happening? But yeah, it seems this is getting very interesting now. I guess this is what this has been leading up to with these new superpowered, like, I guess Kryptonian villains. But yeah, what are you gonna do now, Clark? Huh? What are you gonna do? But I still can't wait to issue number 7 because Hellspawn is coming from Wildcats. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, but Superman number 5. Alright, and the last DC book I got, Teen Titans number 5. Can any of them defeat Superboy? Scott Lobdell and Brent Booth. Excuse me. Yeah, the team has met the enemy, and he is known as Superboy. And if anybody is reading Superboy, you know what he can do. He's got telekinesis powers, all that other the stuff that he's had before when he first came around. And the team has to deal with this guy. And like the Justice League, they don't pretty do so well. Not one of them. Not Tim, who's supposed to have the most experience out of them. Not Kid Flash. Not Saldus. Not Wonder Girl. Not any of them. They get a few licks in on Superboy, but it's more like Superboy's like, you know, if you guys learned more of tactical skills, you would have more of an advantage. And he does things in this book. It's like, oh my God. Like, I mean, for example, I'll give you one spoiler. Wonder Girl wraps him up in her lasso. You fully see her enfullied in her armor and everything like this. And Superboy drags her into the subway system of New York, because they're still in New York. And he's like, okay, that armor is impressive and everything. It is indestructible by the gods. I get that. But the female wielding it is not. And he literally drops her when a train is coming. And she's like, are you crazy? You'll get us both killed. And he's like, not me, but boom. I'm like, oh my God. You know, Tim gets a few licks on him. Like, Tim has the advantage at one point against Superboy. And it was like, okay, there you go, Tim. And then next you know, he just, once again, he's like, you're talking too much. But Tim tries to reason with, along with Saltus. She tries to reason with him like, you know, you think Nowhere is just going to let you go. You know, you're a puppet to them. You know, and I'm not going to spoil what Superboy does, but this was action-packed, guys. Very action-packed. The only member of the team that wasn't there was Skitter. She wasn't there. She really wants nothing to do because she feels that every time she turns, she goes to sleep, and then that cocoon comes over and she becomes that spider-like creature. She loses a piece of her humanity. But yeah, yeah. But this was action-packed, most definitely. I can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, let's just say Superboy left the team. Okay, let's put it like that. Teen Titans #5. Okay, so we move on to Marvel. And the end of an era. The end of the Maxi series by Fred Van Lente and Greg Pak. Alpha Flight #8. The end. Boy. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Fred Van Lente and Greg Pak. I want to thank Marvel as well for bringing me, or any Alpha Flight fan out there, Alpha Flight, thank you. They were going to make this into an ongoing series, but I don't know what happened. It was supposed to be a longer maxi series, but it was still good at best. Okay, so since the indoctrination of Unity in Canada, the team has to go on guard, and with a little help from Taskmaster and Wolverine, they're able to defend against Alpha Strike, the team Heather Hudson, Guardian's wife, Vindicator, has been leading. And we get to see this is pretty much an action-packed ending to this series. The Alpha Flight team is ready to wipe out this whole mind brainwashing that Department H has done to Canada. And the team has to deal with, like I said, Alpha Strike. That's the Purple Woman and Vindicator and some other people in there as well. And it was just really action packed. It just told a really good action packed story of how Guardian James Hudson, also because he has to save his daughter. His daughter is on board. Department H is flying now, hovering over like a space saucer, and their daughter is on board, so they have to get her out before they do what they need to do. We see some things come to grip, especially with Aurora. She comes to grip with who she is now. North Star saves his lover in this. Sasquatch has been acting more like a lovesick puppy around Aurora. You know, he's saying Sasquatch smash and stuff like this. I'm like, oh God, you know, they reverted him back to some kind of primitive mind. So, but everybody played a good part in this, even the guest stars. But it ended with the heroes coming on top, saving Canada, the Great White North, from brainwashing. And that's why you could see why Alpha Flight is the premier Marvel Canadian team. And you gotta love it. I'm sorry, you gotta love it. But thank you again, Mr. Fred Van Lente and Mr. Greg Pak, for Alpha Flight. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the world's greatest comic magazine, Fantastic Four 602. Jonathan Hickman. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Talk about a space odyssey, a space battle. You're looking at it. This was great. This was great. We left off with debris from all the ships that Johnny has been using. He's been using the Annihilation Wave to wipe out some of the Creed starships, but debris has been falling onto Earth, and they're so big that it could destroy New York and other major cities. And the Avengers are on Earth trying to deal with that as much as they can, but they need help. And who does Reed call for help? You're looking at him, the Big G. Yeah. And Galactus comes in. I'm sorry, guys, I gotta spoil some of this. Galactus comes in and he's like, alright, I'll deal with this, you know. But this wasn't what I said was coming. But I'll deal with it. And Galactus does what he does best, show his all-powerfulness. That's pretty much what it is, baby. You gotta love Big G, no doubt about it. But it's really the ending that is what really is to come. And without spoiling too much, Galactus is fighting. I can't spoil it. I'm sorry, guys. I can't spoil that. Oh man, I can't spoil that. But Galactus is in for a fight in the next issue. But good stuff, Mr. Hickman. Very good stuff. I love it. Now we move on to FF14. Hickman again, and Juan Bobil is the artist. No disrespect, Mr. Babilo. I hope I'm saying your name right, but your artwork just is really weird. You know, what's with people having sloping, looking like Neanderthals? I'm sorry, they do. But this is supposed to be before the events, what's happening in Fantastic Four, because both of these stories intertwine with each other. So we see the team buying some time before the individuals that Galactus was talking about in this book, and we see Doom and the rest of the kids, and that's pretty much what this one is about. This is buying the team some time before, you know, meeting up with this book. But it was good nonetheless. But it's just the artwork that really bothers me a little bit. You know, I'm talking Neanderthal, sloping foreheads. Just looks weird to me. Yes, it does. Alright, we're going to move this really quick. Mighty Thor, number 10. Okay. Bottom line, guys. Thor is in this other realm, and he's about to be devoured by this creature, this deity that devours gods. Loki and the Silver Surfer are trying to pick up Mjolnir. They can't. Not even the Surfer can, with all the cosmic powers he has. He can't. Heimdall can't. He realizes now that Titanus may not be who he is, because he can't see him. And he comes at times like, who are you? Like, literally comes, I can't see you. Like, almost like he can see every other of the Asgardians on Asgardia, you know, but he can't see Titanus or Urlik, because that's who Titanus is, Urlik, the troll. Bottom line, the Mjolnir travels out into space. Surfer travels after it. I'm gonna spoil this, guys. This is major spoiling here, and I don't mind if anybody. But basically, Thor's trying to remember who he is in this other realm. He can't really quite remember too much. And he's like, something's coming. I can feel it. Hands his hand out. Who comes? Bink! I remember. I am Thor. And I'm like, oh God, please tell me he's coming back quick. Thank you. And so he tells the other deities that are in this world, on your feet, we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. And if we have to go through this Gorga, I think that's the name, so be it. But the bottom line is, guys, you can't keep a good thunder god down, and Thor's triumphant rise is returning. Thank you, because I can't take much more of this Urlik in this disguise. I can't take that. The people don't remember Thor. I want my Thor back, and by God, we're getting it. And thank God, because there's only one true thunder god of the Marvel Universe, and that's Thor. Okay, moving on. Secret Avengers 21.1. This was the book I was talking about. Rick Remender, the new creative team, takes over right here. Rick Remender tells a good solo story between Steve and one of my favorite Avengers, Hawkeye. This is a great jump-on story for Secret Avengers, especially if you're really interested in the new, team that's coming in the next issue. Okay, basically, Steve and Clint go into this on a secret special ops mission, especially Secret Avenger style. Run the mission, don't get seen, save the world. That's their motto. Steve is really, what he's doing is testing Clint to see if Clint is to lead, can he lead a special team of Avengers, Secret Avengers. That's basically what this book is. That's all this is. But also in Behold, we get to see that the Shadow Council is building an all-new Masters of Evil. And we get to see Backlash is in this book. Princess Python, and I believe Vengeance. Okay. But lo and behold, at first it looks like Steve is not really liking how Clint is doing things, but he realized that Clint is ready to lead a team of Avengers. That's basically what this book, but it assured me from this book, guys, that Rick Remender, my God, this guy knows how to write. It's how I have to agree with my friend Tori GNR1. Anything this man touches is gravy, is gold. He can make you like anything he writes, because what he does in this book really shows that Hawkeye is ready, and I can't wait to see how he leads the next team of Secret Avengers. This was good. This was great. If I was doing a pick of the week, this would be my pick of the week. Sorry, guys. Yep, this would be my pick of the week as well. My friend Tori GNR, that was his pick of the week. This would be mine as well. Gotta agree, this was really good. So if you're looking forward to the new team of Secret Avengers and Rick Remender's run, you're in good hands. Okay. Moving really quick, Jonathan Hickman, The Ultimates. Bottom line this, guys, really quick. This is issue number 6. The bottom line this, basically, Nick Fury, the government has to deal with what Reed Richards is doing. That's basically what this all is about. Sam Wilson, the Ultimate Falcon, infiltrated the city where Reed Richards is, and he wants to know what's going on. Why he's killing people and everything like that. Bottom line, we do get to see the Ultimate Captain Britain here. It's not Brian Braddock, it's his brother. Brian is dying, actually. We also get to see Nick Fury go to see Captain America, and he's like, we need you back, Steve. Steve has gone exile. He's like, no, I'm not coming back, yada, 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 find another way. He's saying, look, I have too much blood on my hand. I'm a killer. I know that. That's the thing. That's just straight up, yeah. The Ultimate Cap is no 616 Cap. He's a killer. He knows that. I'm a soldier. I'm a killer. And he recognizes he has too much blood on his hand to wash away. And that's basically what this is. They're just trying to deal with Reed Richards and what he's doing in his city, as he calls it. That's all it is. It was good, fairly good. Very dialogue from Jonathan Hickman. Okay, last Marvel book, excuse me. Oh, my tea's getting cold. Damn it, I hate when tea gets cold. X-Men Legacy, number 621, Christoph Gage. Okay, we get... May I just say, X-Men Legacy makes Rogue shine, and I love it. I'm sorry. Rogue is my all-time favorite female in comics. Yes, I said it. Believe it or not, she's my all-time favorite. She shines in this book. We get the arrival of Exodus, an old X-Men villain again. And Exodus comes and tells them, like, you guys, he's here to save mutant kind. You guys can't be divided, yada yada yada. A battle goes, and it really shines on, you know, the team, like what they're gonna do. Rogue, especially, you know. Also, they show off, like, you know, before that, I went ahead. Sorry, guys. Rachel Summers has been saying, like, how are you dealing with you being on one side of the country and Magneto on the other side, and you know, there's going into, like, you know, and how do you feel about, and how does he feel about Gambit coming with you, somebody you once was romantically involved with, but now you guys are like this. There's also the addition of Frenzy and Gambit. They talk about that kiss they shared at the last issue. Like I said, from the last issue, Gambit got some brown sugar in the other one. But lo and behold, you know, Gambit's like, you know, we shouldn't have done that. You know, maybe it was just the heat of the moment. And Frenzy's like, look, it was just a kiss. You know, we've done more than that, but you know, we'll move on for it. But it seems like Frenzy wants more with Gambit. She's a woman and she needs to be loved, and I get that. And you know, I mean, wouldn't you want to have a super invulnerable woman girlfriend? Okay. But it's all about Exodus and what he feels the team is doing wrong, and how they battle Exodus. You know, pretty decent battle between Exodus and the team. I gotta say, like I said, Rogue shines in this book, and boy does she shine. Exodus reads Rogue's mind after they finally say, okay, enough, let's talk. Exodus reads Rogue's mind and see everything that's going on, from the death of Nightcrawler, the, you know, Cyclops, his decisions he's made, everything like that. And he's like, okay, I was wrong. I believe you. I can understand why you guys left. You're not the problem. So at the end of the book, Rogue turns to Wolverine and is like, did we just set Cyclops to get killed? Wolverine's like, damn it, and we gotta go. We gotta go. To be continued. But it was good. Gotta give Christoph Gage here. This was good. But yeah, Rogue shines great in this book. Boy, does she shine. That's my Southern Belle right there. Yes, indeed. And we're gonna end it with independent books. Yeah, usually I do the independent first, but I'm gonna end it off on this. So first off, I got an IDW book which I'm not gonna review because I'm gonna read it as a whole, and then I'll do just a review special on it, and that's the IDW event Infection 2. So I'm not gonna talk about that. I have it, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But first off, Green Hornet Annual number 2 goes berserk. Bottom line, this book is that Britt Reed, this takes a little bit of realism in this book, because the Britt Reed, of course, Jr. has taken over the mantle of his father, Britt Reed Sr., as well as the mantle of the Daily Sentinel, the newspaper, his dad. And it really realizes that what people have been saying as well in reality is that the newspaper industry is going down because of the internet and webs and stuff like that. So, and the Daily Sentinel is kind of there. So Britt has to find out how to keep it aloft. But also, he's kind of going, he's going on edge in terms of doing that over, he's putting more emphasis into his alter ego as his other father's legacy as Green Hornet than the paper. And that's pretty much what this is all about. Just a really good story by David Ratner that shows that Britt has to focus both sides of the coin, the paper, and focus as the Green Hornet. I was about to say Arrow, you know, but yeah, it was pretty good. It was really good for an annual, and we get a special in this book, a Green Hornet comic from the 1940s in the back of it, which was pretty good. You know, I got to read something that I wasn't even born to read yet, so, but it was good. like I said, if you're not on board with Green Hornet and Dynamite, get on board. You'll love it. And to end it, I thought I'd end it with the Fab Foursome themselves. Ninja Turtles, number 6. Kevin Eastman, Ed Waltz. Wow. This book has been good since the beginning, and it just keeps getting better, people. It's becoming full circle now. The Foot is getting involved. We got French ninjas who know Savate. We got the Foot. We got Baxter Stockman and Old Hub in this book. And it's all leading up to what's to come. But in the meantime, Baxter Stockman and Old Hub, the cat-like mutate, wants to get Splinter and the Turtles. And, okay, and besides that, side note, on the side story, guys, we have Casey needing some tutelage by April. You know, because if he doesn't get his grades up, he can't stay on the college hockey team. So he needs some tutoring by April. That's that part. But it's the ending, guys, of an old villains that are coming for the Turtles. And this cover should give it away a little bit what's to come. And without spoiling too much, hell. Okay, let's just say we're gonna get our first take of Baxter Stockman. Okay, here's an invention. Okay, here's without spoiling too much. What did Baxter Stockman create? That's your clue. But other than that, guys, I ran on long enough. And once again, I apologize for the lateness. Sorry about not giving a shout out like I was supposed to. So, bottom line, and I'm just going to shout out everybody who watches my stuff and things like that. Of course, got to give a shout out to Mentor Sensei. Check out his vids as always. Check out his Tumblr account. He does reviews on there. They're very good. Other Tumblr accounts I should check out. DJ Maximus. He goes by Hot Rod Mad Max on there. His Tumblr, he does some very good in-depth stuff as well. Tori GNR, his reviews, Sick Joseph, Rick Sageek, you know, you name it. I'm just giving shout outs to everybody. But as always, that was for this week. Next week I will see you guys, I should say for the first comics of February. One comic I'm looking forward to, guys, is Winter Soldier. Yes. So I want to see if I can't get Bucky and Cap as Cap, I'll take Bucky as any way I can, basically. But other than that, guys, ran on long enough. This is Mount Vernon Kid. One love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. As always, peace.